Hey guys, Dino at Speed Circuit here, and today we're going to be installing the ND valve cover bolt kit. So let's go. So today we're going to replace the valve cover bolts with some nice stainless steel bolts with colored cups and aluminum standoffs. And it's just going to add a nice little flare to the engine bay, and it's going to be a nice bolt that lasts longer because over time OEM bolts tend to rust. We haven't really seen that issue yet on these just because the cars are so new, but 10 years from now it might be something that you have to deal with, and this will be a nice upgrade. So right now we have these bolt kits available in select colors: silver, purple, blue, black, and red. To install these valve cover bolts in the ND Miata, we're going to need the following tools: 3/8 ratchet, 5mm Allen key, 5mm Allen key socket, or 2 if you want to make your life easy so you don't have to swap things back and forth. You're also going to need an 8mm socket, a 10mm socket, if you could find yours, and a 14mm socket. It also might help to have a little 3/8 extension. We also like to have a zip gun or some kind of powered ratchet or something to make the job go quicker. And last but not least, you don't need it, but I recommend using some Loctite. You don't need red. I would probably actually recommend blue, but this is what we have on hand today. So the first thing you're going to want to do before you open the package is count to make sure you have 15 of each piece. That way, if there's any kind of issue with missing pieces, we know ahead of time and we can take care of it. Anyway, so what you're going to do in general is you're going to take one of your bolts, put it into one of your cups, whatever color you happen to have, and then take a sleeve and thread that on. And that is a complete bolt. However, here's my preferred method. I just take the bolt, take the colored cup, take a little bit of Loctite, just a little drop. I'm using red here because we're out of blue, but blue is probably ideal. Just a little bit. Take your threaded sleeve, put that on. Take your 5mm on your little zip gun or ratchet, power ratchet, whatever you have. Make sure that's nice and snug. And let that sit for a few minutes and allow the Loctite to harden up. Repeat the same process for the remainder of the 15 pieces. When you finish assembling all 15 pieces, this is what you should be looking at. So this guide is also going to work for the Evo X valve cover bolt kit that we've been selling for years, but I just want to point out a couple differences. Number one, you're going to have 18 colored cups and bolts. You're going to have 16 threaded standoffs, and you're going to have an additional 4 plain stainless steel bolts for your coil packs. Now the reason you have 2 less standoffs than you have cups is because there's 2 areas where the threaded standoffs are not going to fit into the valve cover. And that'll be obvious when you look at it if you look closely. The first one is the upper left-hand corner right here. If you notice, every other hole is much larger. So where you have no issue fitting the threaded standoff through the valve cover there, it won't fit through here. So that's how you know. And if you come over here and look at the center, you'll see that's also kind of a funny shape as well. So, you know, it's not going to fit. So you just leave the standoff off those 2 locations, but you still go ahead and use the bolt and the colored cup so everything looks the same. So we're going to just remove these one at a time. So that way we don't have to worry about messing up the valve cover or replacing the gasket or anything along those lines. So I just cracked it free with my ratchet, And then to save time, because you're going to be doing this 15 times, I'm going to take my zip gun and pull it right out. There you go. Then we're going to take our assembled bolt and we're going to install it where we just took the one bolt out, get it started, use the zip gun, just go till it clicks a little bit and then finish it by hand. Now, it's important not to over tighten these just because the torque spec on these bolts is only around 6 foot-pounds or so. So you just want to kind of choke up on the ratchet and just give it just a little bit. Rinse and repeat 14 more times. Now, if you want to make your life easy, you should really just get a 14mm socket, crack this guy loose, crack this guy loose, to remove this piece of the strut tower bar to access the rear ones. You're also going to want to use an 8mm socket to remove this coil pack to give yourself an easier time to reach back there. So there you are. That's what it looks like when it's all finished. You've got the 15 bolts in there. It's nice and pretty. There's a few kind of hiding around here. And if you want to pop this off while you're working on the car for better access to that, that's no problem. But sit back, appreciate your work, and it's one more thing to show off to people. Enjoy. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description to the product on our website.